did it occur to you that you should make sure that government was aware of your views on these points before it came to land on the invocation of the Emergencies Act?
I guess in hindsight, yeah, that might have been something significant.
RCMP Commissioner Brenda Lucki didn't think to tell the Trudeau cabinet about key changes as they debated invoking the Emergencies Act. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist with the Toronto Sun. The Emergencies Act inquiry has really showcased how inept, incompetent much of our police leadership is in this country. Not everyone, but many. We saw how Ottawa Police Service was just simply not ready for the Freedom Convoy showing up. How, despite all the news reports, the social media postings, that they thought this was going to be a two-day protest as opposed to a group of people driving across country to the capital to stay until they got their demands met. That was shocking in and of itself. But this week, we heard from RCMP Commissioner Brenda Lucki, who admitted a couple of things that were quite shocking. As the Trudeau cabinet, first a cabinet committee, the incident response group, then the full cabinet, were debating invoking the Emergencies Act, Lucki didn't tell them two key points. One, that she didn't think the Emergencies Act was needed. Two, that the Ottawa Police Service, now working with the RCMP and the Ontario Provincial Police, had come up with a workable plan, one that she thought would clear the streets and end the protests without the need for emergency legislation. She didn't tell either meeting of that, even though she was there. She was sitting in on them. They didn't call on her. She didn't volunteer the information. Even as they were debating this, all of this came up while Commission Counsel Gordon Cameron was discussing these matters with Lucki. Check out this exchange.
Cabinet is on the verge of invoking the Emergencies Act. You are their window on law enforcement. You told us this earlier. Your update to Cabinet as it is deciding whether to invoke the Emergencies Act is that the police now have a plan. They've pulled it together. And that you, as the Commissioner of the RCMP, consider that plan to be workable without the authorities of the Emergencies Act. And that doesn't get delivered. Your messages don't get delivered to Cabinet when they then deliberate on the invocation of the Act. Do you appreciate the significance of that scenario?
Yes and no, because we had spoken about the fact that we had an integrated planning cell, that we were bringing together a plan, an enforcement plan to go forward. So there was talk about a plan and that a plan was in progress.
Now, Lucki went on for quite some time about trying to downplay the plan. You know, she had said there was a plan, it was workable, and they didn't need the Emergencies Act. But now suddenly, well, I'm not sure the plan was signed off on, but the plan was there, but I kind of told people, so they should have known. But yeah, I didn't say it. Cameron pressed Lucki once again. Check it out.
Did it occur to you that you should make sure that government was aware of your views on these points before it came to land on the invocation of the Emergencies Act?
I guess in hindsight, yeah, that might have been something significant.
Yeah, I guess in hindsight, this is the Commissioner of the RCMP? Given what we've seen from Lucki at this testimony, at the Emergencies Act inquiry, given what we've seen at the Mass Casualty Commission inquiry in Nova Scotia, and the evidence that came out, including the recording of the phone call that confirmed the notes of Superintendent Darren Campbell, I don't know how Brenda Lucki still has a job other than she appears to be good at protecting Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his government. This is a woman who is not up to the job of leading Canada's national police force. Often you have a sense that somebody in a position of power isn't up to the task that they have been charged with. In this case, we now have evidence. We have testimony and evidence to back up this feeling that many of us had before. But she's going to stay in the job. And my guess is that sometime in the new year, as she approaches her 5-year anniversary in the job, she'll announce her retirement. And Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will give her a nice posting somewhere, a job, an appointment, something as a reward for helping protect his government. But what her testimony clearly showed is that she was not up to the job, but that also the Emergencies Act wasn't needed. And that's what this inquiry is really all about. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channels.